a treasure vast enough to fund an empire for a century. Gold, diamonds, and secrets of immeasurable value. In the chaos of India's most devastating battle, it vanished. No records, no witnesses, no trace. Just a ghost story whispered for 250 years. What really happened to the legendary lost treasure of the Marathas? And where is it hiding today? Welcome, truth seekers and history adventurers, to AI Storytelling YT. We journey into the past, using technology to shed light on the greatest mysteries and untold tales that history has forgotten. Today, we embark on a quest shrouded in war, loyalty, and betrayal. So, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and prepare to unravel a legend. The Golden Age of the Marathas. To understand what was lost, we must first understand what was built. The 18th century. The Mughal Empire was crumbling, and in its vacuum, a new power rose from the Deccan hills. The Marathas. More than just warriors, they were master administrators and empire builders. Under the leadership of their prime ministers, the Peshwas, their saffron flag flew from the Indus in the north to the Tanjavur in the south. Their coffers overflowed with tribute, taxes, and the spoils of conquest. The heart of this mighty confederacy was Pune, and its crown jewel was the Shaniwar Wada, the palace of the Peshwas. This wasn't just a political or military power, it was an economic juggernaut. And at its heart was the Peshwa daftar, the imperial treasury. We are not talking about a few chests of gold. We are talking about a state treasury so vast it was the bedrock of the empire's economy. Records speak of mountains of gold and silver coins, sacks of priceless diamonds from Golconda, exquisite jewelry, golden idols, and ceremonial weapons encrusted with rubies and emeralds. But its most valuable component was not material. It held the state's most sensitive documents, treaties, spy reports, and financial ledgers. To lose it was to lose the empire's brain. The cataclysm of Panipat. But power invites challenge. From the rugged mountains of Afghanistan, a storm was brewing. Ahmad Shah Abdali, the Afghan king, descended upon the plains of India, aiming to crush the Marathas and sack the riches of Delhi. In response, the Marathas assembled one of the grandest armies India had ever seen. At its head was Sadashivrao Bhau, the Peshwa's cousin. A brilliant but headstrong commander. This was not merely a campaign, it was a grand expedition. The army moved with a massive retinue of non-combatants, pilgrims, and a mobile treasury to fund the months-long war. This is our first critical point. Why was so much of the treasury on the move? For two reasons. First, to pay soldiers and buy supplies. Second, and more crucially, it was a symbolic projection of imperial power. The treasury was the state. Where Bhau went, the heart of the Maratha Empire went with him. They carried with them a significant portion of the Peshwa daftar. The Third Battle of Panipat. January 14, 1761. On the dusty fields of Panipat, the two armies clashed. It was a battle of titans, a day of reckoning that would decide the fate of India for the next century. For hours, the Marathas fought with legendary bravery, pushing Abdali's forces to the brink of collapse. But fate is cruel. A stray rocket struck the Maratha's second-in-command, Vishwasrao, the Peshwa's son, killing him instantly. Seeing his nephew fall, a grief-stricken and enraged Sadashivrao Bhau descended from his command elephant and plunged into the suicidal final charge. This was the fatal error. His soldiers, no longer seeing their commander's banner, presumed him dead. Panic erupted. The disciplined Maratha line shattered. The battle turned into a massacre. What followed was a holocaust. The victorious Afghan army showed no mercy, slaughtering soldiers and civilians alike. In this vortex of death and chaos, the imperial treasure, the pride of the Marathas, simply vanished. The investigation. Three leading theories. The dust settled, but the questions began. A fortune that could destabilize nations was now unaccounted for. For over 2 centuries, historians, treasure hunters, and descendants have pieced together fragments of information, leading to 3 compelling and mysterious theories. Theory 1, the battlefield secret. Our first theory takes us to the blood-soaked fields of Panipat itself. Sadashivrao Bhau was a brilliant strategist. He knew the risks. Is it possible that he, anticipating a brutal fight, never intended to take the entire treasury onto the battlefield? This theory suggests that on the eve of the battle, Bhau ordered a secret operation. Under the cloak of darkness, the bulk of the treasure was buried in and around their fortified camp. Only a handful of his most trusted generals and his wife, Parvatibai, knew the locations. The plan was simple: fight the battle, win, and then recover the treasure. But the plan failed. Bhau and nearly all his top commanders perished in the fighting. Parvatibai managed to escape the carnage with a few guards, but in the chaos and pursuit, she could not return. The few who knew the secret were dead, and the locations were lost forever. For generations, farmers in Haryana have reported plowing up old coins, bits of jewelry, and rusted weapons. Are these just remnants of war, or are they breadcrumbs leading to a far greater prize? Local legends speak of cursed fields where spirits guard a hidden treasure. Treasure hunters, armed with metal detectors and old maps, still scour the area, hoping to find a jackpot buried just beneath the surface. But the landscape has changed. Rivers have shifted their course, villages have been rebuilt. Finding a precise location after 250 years is like finding a needle in a continent-sized haystack. Theory 2, the Shaniwar Wada conspiracy. But what if the treasure never even came close to the final battlefield? Our second theory is a tale of foresight and conspiracy, centered on the heart of the empire, Shaniwar Wada. This theory posits that Sadashivrao was cleverer than we imagine. He took a smaller, decoy, treasury with the main army to maintain appearances and fund the campaign, but the real treasure, the core of the Peshwa daftar, was secretly sent back to Pune long before the battle was even fought. Shaniwar Wada was not just a palace, it was a fortress, rumored to have extensive secret vaults and tunnels built into its foundations. The treasure could have been secured in a chamber so secret that its existence was known only to the Peshwa himself and a handful of Brahmin priests who were its hereditary guardians. If so, where is it now? This is where the theory takes a tragic turn. In 1828, a massive, unexplained fire raged for 7 days, completely gutting the palace. The British, who ruled at the time, recorded it as an accident. But was it? Could the fire have been a deliberate act of sabotage to destroy any evidence? Or, more tantalizingly, did the fire destroy the palace but leave the underground stone vaults intact? Did the British, during their cleanup and occupation, quietly discover and loot the greatest treasure in Maratha history, striking it from the records to avoid any claims? Or is it possible that somewhere beneath the ruins of Shaniwar Wada in modern-day Pune, a sealed vault still waits, its secrets protected by a tragedy? Theory 3, the Raigad legacy. Our third theory is the most romantic, and perhaps the most symbolic. It suggests the treasure was sent not to the political capital of Pune, but to the spiritual heart of the Maratha Empire, Raigad Fort. Raigad was more than a fort, it was the first capital of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the place where he was coronated. It represented the very soul of Maratha independence and pride. What safer, more symbolic place to hide the empire's future than in the cradle of its past? The route to Raigad from the north is perilous. It avoids major cities and prying eyes, winding through dense jungles and mountains. A small, loyal contingent could have made the journey undetected. The fort itself is a natural vault, a labyrinth of palaces, cisterns, and hidden granaries. A treasure could be hidden there for millennia. Proponents of this theory point to oral traditions and coded messages passed down through certain noble families. They believe the location wasn't written on any map, but woven into poems, songs, and religious manuscripts. The key to unlocking the location of the vault is not a map, but a cipher. This theory holds a powerful appeal. The idea that the wealth of the Peshwas rests under the silent watch of their founding father, Shivaji, waiting for a time when the Maratha spirit needs to be rekindled. Searches have been conducted at Raigad, but the fort is vast and its secrets are well kept. The legacy and the unending quest. So, which theory holds the truth? The brutal reality is, we don't know for sure. The chaos of Panipat was the perfect storm for a secret to be lost forever. The battlefield burial seems most plausible in its tragic simplicity. The Shaniwar Wada conspiracy is tantalizing with its elements of British colonial intrigue. And the Raigad legacy is a powerful testament to the Maratha spirit. The truth may be a combination of all three. Perhaps some of it was buried, some was looted, and a small, priceless portion was successfully hidden. The lack of a single piece of definitive evidence is what makes this mystery so enduring. The quest continues. It has inspired books, films, and countless expeditions. If you enjoyed this investigation, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who loves a good mystery. And don't forget to subscribe to AI Storytelling YT for more deep dives into history's greatest enigmas.